centralized authority breaks across the grid. Silent districts remain where control collapse. Escalation signals search across rigid districts where intensified corridors channel decisive engines, steel bridges, route coordinated convoys through amplified intersections. Directors dominate the vertical rise, reinforce structures, stabilize the city line while calculating, move and replace the scatter, wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways, convert pressure. Accelerated one man where hardened streets amplify force to constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures, increasing command. Rising escalation pulses through rigid corridors as engines surge across hardened avenues while central authority prepares and fights directed. Grid escalates, command rigid sectors, rising force as the size of motion through hardened avenues, stacked towers, conquer authority where discipline, movement increases control and ruling presence. Intensified sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide decisive engines. Accelerated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into amplified momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority to cross controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under escalating surge while disciplined engines gather force and central authority drives. Escalate, command rigid avenues, confirm the rise as the sense of movement secures hard and sector stack towers. When is the grid district remain or
Regulation signals surge across rigid districts where enforced corridors channel disciplined engines, steel bridges, route coordinated convoys through controlled intersections. Directive camber motion into compliance streams as stacked towers dominate the vertical rise, reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scatter, wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways.
convert pressure right into obedient momentum where hardened streets enforce alignment through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures driving adherence.
Rising directives pulse through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues while central command prepares strict enforcement.
Protocol drives compliance, rigid sectors fall in line as control force moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers confer authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence enforces obedience and ruling presence enforces obedience and ruling presence enforces burn authority where discipline motion.
Regulated sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide disciplined engines through crew in and then it sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into structured momentum. Towers frame the execution of command across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized authority, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under enforcers while disciplined engines gather force.
Protocol drives compliance, rigid sectors fall in line as control fast moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers confer authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence enforces obedience and ruling presence enforces obedience and ruling presence enforces self-burning identity where discipline motion secures the grid.
Silent districts remain where compliance was enforced.
Motion secures the grid. Time pressure builds across rigid districts where time corridors compress. Discipline engine still bridges route. Coordinated convoys through narrowing intersections signals the vibe. Motion in the critical intervals of stack. Stabilize the city line more calculated movement. Replaces scatter wandering inside the dense grid. Stretching pathways convert urging into volatile momentum. While hard in streets enforce timing through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes with an unforgiving network among rising structures approaching threshold. Rising intervals close to rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues of central command. Prepares time locked execution. Time of pressures, districts, rigid sectors tighten under strain as relentless motion moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers, firm authority where discipline movement is the limit and ruling presence enforces the count. Critical sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide pressured engines intensify movement sharpens every action across lay intersection scattered input converts into volatile momentum towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power under mounted strain under mounted strain under mounted strain. Corridors compress under time surge while discipline engines gather force and central command drives escalation. Time of pressures, districts. Time of pressures, districts. Out in avenues, stack. Time of pressures, districts.
Precious hardened sectors, stacked towers, witness tension and centralized power approaches the breaking point. Silent districts remain where time dictated control.
Regulation signals surge across rigid districts, wet enforced corridors, channel discipline, engine steel bridges by coordinated convoys through controlled intersections, directives convert motion into order streams as stack towers dominate the vertical rise, reinforce structures, stabilize the city line, while calculated movement replaces scatter wandering inside the dense grid structure pathways, convert pressure into compliant momentum where hardened streets enforce alignment through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures, initiating regulation. Rising through conversion signals surge across rigid districts with erective corridors, channel discipline engines, still bridges route coordinated combos through regulated intersection commands, convert motion into dominant streams and stack towers dominate the vertical rise, reinforce structure, stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways, convert pressure into commanding momentum where RNG enforce dominance through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network remarks the more rising structures asserting control, rising command pulses through rigid corridors as engine move across hardened avenues while central authority prepares for master rigid corridors as engine move across hardened underwood decisive move through hardened avenues stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence is control asserted sectors extend the structure network compress corridors guide decisive engines coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections scattered input converts into commanding moment towers frame the execution of authority across control districts until hardened recognize centralized power silent districts remain where authority was threat signals escalate across rigid districts where time corridors compress restless engines steel bridges route discipline convoys through narrowing intersection signals with motion in the critical intervals of stacked towers dominate the vertical rise reinforce structure stabilize the city line will calculated movement replaces scattered wander inside the dense grid structured pathways convert pressure into volatile momentum where harder streets amplify tension through constant meaning until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures nearing detonation point. Rising intervals search through rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues wide so command grippers greater threshold countdown threatened sectors rigid district tighten and never night stack towers stack for authority stack towers confirm authority discipline the motion nears the limit and ruling presence critical sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide restless engines intensify movement sharpens every decision across layered intersections scattered input converts into volatile momentum towers bring the execution of command across control distance till hardened avenues recognize centralized authority under mounting pressure corridors compress under critical surge where corridors compress under critical surge where countdown threatened sector rigid back in the melee to morality countdown threatened sector pushes hard in sector stack towers witness and approaches the breaking point approaches the breaking point approaches the breaking point silent districts remain where the count near zero yeah Defiant signals emerge across rigid districts where resistant corridors disrupt discipline engines steel bridges route contested convoys through fractured intersection signals distal motion into unstable streams and stacked towers dominate the vertical rise reinforce structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways convert resistance into reactive momentum where harder streets amplify tension through constant pressure until centralized authority stabilizes within the
respond.
System confronts defiance, rigid sectors resist and yield as decisive force moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers confirm authority, where discipline motion breaks resistance and ruling presence enforces control. Opposes control. Opposing sector strain destruction network where compressed corridors guide conflicted engines intensify movement sharpens every action across layered intersections scattered input converts into reactive momentum towers frame the execution of authority across contested districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power restoring the system of steel. Corridors compress under opposing surge while disciplined engines gather force and central command drive suppression. System confronts defiance, rigid avenues confirm the break as decisive movement secures hardened sector stack towers witness authority and centralized power restores the grid. Silent districts remain where defiance collapse. As an interactive surge across rigid districts where integrated corridors channel decisive engines steel bridges route coordinated convoys through regulated intersection signals convert motion into dominant streams as stacked towers dominate the vertical rise reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wonder and inside the dense grid structure pathways convert pressure into committing momentum where hardened streets enforce transition through constant demand until centralized stability stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures seizing control.
Rising command.
Pulses through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues while central authority prepares full takeover. System assumes command. Rigid textures fall under control as decisive force moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence takes control.
Integrated sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide decisive engines. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into bending the momentum towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power maintained in the system of steel.
Corridors compress under dominant surge while disciplined engines gather force and central authority enforces full control. Rigid sectors fall under control as decisive force moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence takes control.
Silent districts remain where command was assumed.
Determination signals surge across rigid districts where decisive corridors channel discipline engine steel bridges route coordinated convoys through regulated intersections calculations convert motion into resolve streams as stacked towers dominate the vertical rise reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structure pathways convert pressure into conclusive momentum where hardened streets enforce outcome through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures fixing results in the greatest is within the unforgiving network among rising structures fixing results rising certainty pulses through rigid corridors as engines move structure network, compressed corridors, guide decisive engines, coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections, scattered input converts into resolve momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues. Recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel.
Corridors compress
Under decisive surge. Under decisive hearts and artists then I sing. Chase it out with suspect. Silent districts remain where outcome was fixed. Rainy signals surge across rigid districts where reset corridors channel disciplined engines. Steel bridges route coordinated convoys through cleared intersections. Comments purge motion interface on strings of stacked towers dominate. The vertical rise reinforce structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Scorched pathways convert overload into neutral momentum where hardened streets erase variance through constant reset until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving nettle among rising structures, initiating reboot, rising reset, pulses through rigid corridors as engines cycle across hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority with disciplined motion, reestablishes the grid, and ruling presence restarts control. Rain to chill like sectors, extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide disciplined engines. Calibrated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into neutral momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues. Recognize centralized power, restoring the system of steel.
corridors compress through the resenting surge by disciplined engines. Synchronize pace and central command enforces restart.
Command forces reboot, rigid avenues confirm the cycle as control. Movement secures hardened stacked towers. Witness this authority and centralized power restores the grid.
Silent districts remain where systems restarted.
Directive signals cascade across rigid districts where governing corridors channel discipline engines. Steel bridges route coordinated convoys through regulated intersections. Commands convert motion into ordered streams as stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Structured pathways convert pressure into directed momentum where hardened streets enforce structure through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving nettle among rising structures imposing order. Rising directives pulse through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues while central command prepares full impulses. Dictates order rigid sectors, falling line as control force moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where disciplined motion secures the greater rule of breath. Directed sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide disciplined engines. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across laying intersections. Scattered input converts into structured momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel.
Corridors compress under directive surge while disciplined engines gather force and central command drives enforcement.
Dictates order, rigid avenues confirm the rule as control movement. Secure out in sectors, stacked towers with signals surge across rigid districts where extending corridors channel disciplined engines. Steel bridges route coordinated, convoys through wide and intersections. Directors convert motion in the spreading streams. The stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structure. Pathways convert pressure into distributed movement where hardened streets extend reach through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures, expanding control. Rising spread pulses through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues while central command prepares extended reach. Command spreads control, rigid avenues confirm the reach as control. Real force moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where disciplined motions secures the grid and rule and presence. Expanding sectors extend the structure network of compressed corridors. Guide discipline engines coordinated movement sharpens every action across late intersections. Scattered input converts into distributed momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until Art Avenue. Recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under expanding surge while discipline engines gather force and central command drives extension. Command spreads control, rigid avenues confirm the reach as control. Moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion get. Silent districts remain where control expands. Silent districts remain where control expands. Tracking signals extend across rigid districts where coded corridors follow disciplined engines. Steel bridges route coordinated convoys through monitored intersections. Signals convert motion into trace streams. The stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structures stabilize the city line while calculated moving replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways. Convert moving into recorded momentum where hardened streets enforce visibility through constant scanning as authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures maintaining trace.
Rising data pulses through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues, while central command prepares full tracking sequence.
Network track sectors, rigid main and view is controlled. Force moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence. Secures the grid and ruling presence. Track sectors extend the structure network where compass corridors guide disciplined engines. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into recorded momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Cover track sectors, rigid lead and moves controlled. Force moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence. And secures the grid and ruling presence.
Silent districts remain where movement was traced.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. 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 Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Collision. collision signals surge across rigid districts where intersecting corridors drive opposing engines, steel bridges, route discipline convoys through contested intersections, signal split motion into hostile streams of stacked towers dominate the vertical route. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Structured pathways convert pressure into aggressive momentum where hardened streets amplify impact through constant force until centralized authority destabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures entering collision. Rising tension pulses through rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues while opposing command prepares the clash. Control lines collide, rigid sectors crash and force acts relentless motion converges through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion fractures direction and ruling presence breaks across the grid. Converging sectors fracture destruction network where compressed corridors drive opposing engines into conflict intensified. Movement sharpens every strike across layered intersections. Scatter pressure converts into aggressive momentum. Towers frame clash of authority across contested districts until hardened avenues no longer sustain unified control within the fractured system of steel. Corridors compress at collision while opposing motion escalates and fractured. Command drives the surge into conflict. Control lines collide, rigid avenues confirm the clash as relentless movement overwhelms. Hardened sector stacked towers witness impact and centralized authority breaks across the grid. Silent districts remain where control collapse. Escalation signals surge across rigid districts where intensified corridors channel decisive engines, steel bridges, route coordinated convoys through amplified intersections. Directors dominate the vertical rise, reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated moving replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Structured pathways convert pressure. Accelerated one man where hardened streets amplify force through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures, increasing command. Rising escalation pulses through rigid corridors as engines surge across hardened avenues while central authority prepares and fights directed. Grid escalates, command rigid sectors. Rising force as the size of motion. Through hardened avenues, stacked towers confer authority. Where discipline movement increases control and ruling presence. Intensified sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide decisive engines. Accelerated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into amplified momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority to cross controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under escalating surge while disciplined engines gather force and central authority drives. Expansion, gas and escalate, command rigid avenues. Confirm the rise as decisive movement. Secures hardened sector stacked towers witness the grid with silent districts remain where command.
Regulation signals surge across rigid districts where enforced corridors channel discipline engines, steel bridges, route coordinated convoys through controlled intersections. Directive convert motion into compliant streams as stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Structured pathways
Convert pressure into obedient momentum where hardened streets enforce alignment through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures.
Issuing directives, postal rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues, while Central Command prepares strict enforcement.
Protocol drives compliance. Rigid sectors fall in line as control force moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers convert authority where discipline motion secures the grid, and ruling presence enforces obedience. And ruling presence enforces obedience. And ruling presence enforces burn authority where discipline motion.
Regulated sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide disciplined engines through cooling, and then it sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input conversing destruction. Momentum towers frame the execution of command across controlled districts into hardened avenues. Recognize centralized authority, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under enforcers while discipline engines gather force.
Protocol drives compliance. Rigid sectors fall in line as control says moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers convert authority where discipline motion secures the grid, and ruling presence enforces obedience. And ruling presence enforces obedience. And ruling presence enforces up the front where discipline motion secures the grid.
Silent districts remain where compliance was enforced.
Where discipline motion secures the grid. Countdown pressure builds across rigid districts where time corridors compress. Discipline engines still bridges route. Coordinated convoys through narrowing intersections signals divide. Motion in the critical intervals of stack. Stabilize the city line, more calculated movement. Replaces scatter wandering inside the dense grid. Stretching pathways convert urgency into volatile momentum. While hardened streets enforce timing through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes with an unforgiving network among rising structures approaching threshold. Rising intervals close to rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues while Central Command prepares time locked execution. Time of pressures, districts, rigid sectors tighten under strain as relentless motion moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers firm authority where discipline movement is the limit, and ruling presence enforces the count. Critical sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide pressured engines intensify movement sharpens every action across lay intersections scattered input converts into volatile momentum towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power under mounted strain. Under mounted strain. Under mounted strain. Corridors compress under time surge while discipline engines gather force, and Central Command drives escalation. Time of pressures, districts. Time of pressures, districts. Out in avenue stack. Time of pressures, districts.
Precious hardened sectors, stacked towers, witness tension and centralized power approaches the breaking point. Silent districts remain, where time dictating control.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Regulation signals surge across rigid districts where enforced corridors channel discipline engines steel bridges while coordinated convoys through controlled intersections directives convert motion into order streams as stack towers dominate the vertical rise reinforce structures stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scatter wandering inside the dense bridge structure pathways convert pressure into compliant momentum where hardened streets enforce alignment through constant demand. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across, lay it input converts into structured momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under enforced surge, while disciplined engines gather force and central command sustains alignment. City enters regulation, rigid avenues confirm the shift as control movement secures hardened sectors, stacked towers, witness authority and centralized power maintains the grid. Silent districts remain where regulation held. A search and signal surge across rigid districts with erective corridors, channel discipline engines, still bridges route coordinated convoys through regulated intersections, commands convert motion into dominant streams, and stacked towers dominate the vertical rise, reinforce structure, stabilize the city line while calculating movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid, structured pathways convert pressure into commanding momentum where hard drinks enforce dominance through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network reminds among rising structures, asserting control. Rising command pulses through rigid corridors as engine move across hardened avenues while central authority prepares for assertion. Rigid corridors as engine move across hardened underwood styles. Decisive move through hardened avenues, stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence is control. Asserted sectors extend the structure network, compress corridors guide decisive engines, coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections, scattered input converts into commanding moment. Towers frame the execution of authority across control districts until hardened recognize centralized power. Remain where authority was asserted. Threat signal escalate across rigid districts where time corridors compress restless engines, steel bridges route discipline convoys through narrowing intersection signals divide motion in the critical intervals of stacked towers dominate the vertical rise, reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wander inside the dense grid, structured pathways convert pressure in a volatile momentum where hardened streets amplify tension through constant meaning until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures nearing detonation point. Rising intervals surge through rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues, wide cell command grippers greater crucial countdown threatened sectors, rigid district tighten and never night. Stacked towers stack for authority, stacked towers confirm authority, discipline the motion nears the limit and ruling presence. Critical sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide restless engines intensify movement sharpens every decision across layered intersections, scattered input converts into volatile momentum. Towers frame the execution of command across controlled districts till hardened avenues recognize centralized authority under mounting pressure. Corridors compress under critical surge where corridors compress under critical surge surge where countdown threatening sector mention back and we melee them alright in the mention countdown threatening sector mention pushes hard in sector stack towers witness 10 approaches the breaking point approaches the breaking point approaches the breaking point silent districts remain where the count neared zero yeah 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 Defiant signals emerge across rigid districts where resistant corridors disrupt discipline and just steal bridges route contested convoys through fractured intersections signals distort motion into unstable streams that stack towers dominate the vertical rise reinforce structure stabilize the city line while calculating movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways convert resistance into reactive momentum where harder streets amplify tension through constant pressure until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures confronting opposition rising resistance pulses through rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues while central command prepares suppression response system confronts defiance rigid sectors resist and yield as decisive force moves through hardened avenues stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion breaks resistance and ruling presence enforces control opposes control opposing sector strain destruction network where compressed corridors guide conflicted engines intensify movement sharpens every action across layered intersections scattered input converts into reactive momentum towers frame the execution of authority across contested districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power restoring the system of steel corridors compress under opposing surge while disciplined engines gather force and central command drive suppression system confronts defiance rigid avenues confirm the break as decisive movement secures hardened sector stack towers witness authority and centralized power restores the grid silent districts remain where defiance collapse as an interactive surge across rigid districts where integrated corridors channel decisive engines steel bridges route coordinated convoys through regulated intersection signals convert motion into dominant streams as stacked towers dominate the vertical rise reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structure pathways convert pressure into commanding momentum where hardened streets enforce transition through constant demand until centralized stability stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures seizing control
Rising command
pulses through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues while central authority prepares full takeover system assumes command rigid sectors fall under control as decisive force moves through hardened avenues stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence takes control
integrated sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide decisive engines coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections scattered input converts into bending the momentum towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power maintained in the system of steel
corridors compress under dominant surge while disciplined engines gather force and central authority enforces full control rigid sectors fall under control as decisive force moves through hardened avenues stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence takes control
silent districts remain where command was assumed
takes control Determination signals surge across rigid districts where decisive corridors channel discipline, engine steel bridges, route coordinated convoys through regulated intersections, calculations convert motion into resolve streams. As stacked towers dominate the vertical rise, reinforced structure stabilize the city line, while calculated movement replaces scatter wandering inside the dense grid structure pathways convert pressure into conclusive momentum where hardened streets enforce outcome through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures fixing dissolving. Regret is within the unforgiving network among rising structures fixing resolve. Rising certainty pulses through rigid corridors as engines movers hardened avenues while central command prepares final resolution. Grid determines outcome. Rigid sectors aligned to result. This control for force move hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence defines the end. Determine sectors extend the structure network. Compress corridors guide decisive engines. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into resolve momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across control districts until hardened avenues. Recognize centralized power maintaining the system of steel.
Corridors compress.
Under decisive surge. Under decisive hearts and modest and nothings. Chase get out with suspects. Silent districts remain where outcome was fixed. Bringing signal surge across rigid districts where reset corridors channel disciplined engines. Steel bridges route coordinated convoys through cleared intersections. Comments purge motion under based on streams of stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Scorched pathways convert overload into neutral momentum where hardened streets erase variance through constant reset until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures initiating reboot. Rising reset pulses through rigid corridors as engines cycle across hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority with disciplined motion reestablishes the grid and ruling presence restarts control. Rain to chill like sectors extend the structured network where compressed corridors guide disciplined engines. Calibrated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into neutral momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across control districts until hardened avenues. Recognize centralized power restoring the system of steel.
Corridors compress. Gird up rescinded and surge by disciplined engines. Synchronize pace and central command enforces. Restart.
Command forces reboot. Rigid avenues confirm the cycle as control. Movement secures hardened sector stacked towers. Witness this authority and centralized power restores the grid.
Silent districts remain where systems restarted.
Directive signals cascade across rigid districts where governing corridors channel discipline engines. Steel bridges route coordinated convoys through regulated intersections. Commands convert motion into ordered streams. As stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structure pathways. Convert pressure into directed momentum where hardened streets enforce structure through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures imposing order. Rising directives pulse through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues, while central command prepares full impulses. Dictates order, rigid sectors fall in line as control force moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline in motion secures the greater road of ground. Directed sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide discipline engines. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across laying intersections. Scattered input converts into structure momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel.
Corridors compress under directive surge, while discipline engines gather force and central command drives enforcement.
Dictates order, rigid avenues confirm the rule as control of movements. Secures out in sectors, stacked towers witness authority and centralized power.
Silent districts remain where order prevails.
Expansion signals surge across rigid districts where extending corridors channel disciplined engines. Steel bridges route coordinated, convoys through widened intersections. Directors convert motion into spreading streams. The stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line, while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structure. Pathways convert pressure into distributed momentum where hardened streets extend reach through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures, expanding control. Rising spread pulses through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues, while central command prepares extended reach. Command spreads control, rigid avenues confirm the reach as control. Real force moves through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motions
Secures the grid and rule and presence.
expanding. Sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide discipline engines coordinated movement. Sharpens every action across late intersections. Scattered input converts into distributed momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hard avenue. Recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compress under expanding surge, while discipline engines gather force and central command drives extension. Command spreads control, rigid avenues confirm the reach as control. Moves through hardened avenues, stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion get. Silent districts remain where control expands. Silent districts remain where control expands. Tracking signals extend across rigid districts where coded corridors follow disciplined engines. Steel bridges route coordinated convoys through monitored intersections. Signals convert motion into trace streams. The stacked towers dominate the vertical rise. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid structured pathways. Convert moving into recorded momentum where hardened streets enforce visibility through constant scanning as authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures maintaining trace.
Rising data pulses through rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues, while central command prepares full tracking sequence.
Network track sectors, Rigid medium view is controlled. Force move through hardened avenues. Stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence. Secures the grid and ruling presence. Track sectors extend the structure network, where compass corridors guide disciplined engines. Coordinated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into recorded momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority across controlled districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Cover track sectors, rigidly to lose control. Force moves through hardened avenues. Stack towers confirm authority where discipline motion secures the grid and ruling presence. It secures the grid and ruling presence.
Silent districts remain where movement was traced.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. 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 Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Collision signal surge across rigid districts where intersecting corridors drive opposing engines, steel bridges, route discipline convoys through contested intersections, signal split motion into hostile streams of stacked towers dominate the vertical route. Reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Structured pathways convert pressure into aggressive momentum where hardened streets amplify impact through constant force until centralized authority destabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures entering collision. Rising tension pulses through rigid corridors as engines push across hardened avenues, while opposing command prepares the clash. Control lines collide, rigid sectors crash, and force acts relentless motion converges through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline motion fractures direction and ruling presence breaks across the grid. Converging sectors fracture destruction network where compressed corridors drive opposing engines into conflict. Intensified movement sharpens every strike across layered intersections. Scatter pressure converts into aggressive momentum. Towers frame the clash of authority across contested districts until hardened avenues no longer sustain unified control within the fractured system of steel. Corridors compress at collision while opposing motion escalates and fractured. Command drives the surge into conflict. Control lines collide, rigid avenues confirm the clash as relentless movement overwhelms. Hardened sector stacked towers witness impact and centralized authority breaks across the grid. Silent districts remain where control collapse. Escalation signals surge across rigid districts where intensified corridors channel decisive engines, steel bridges, route coordinated convoys through amplified intersections. Directors dominate the vertical rise, reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scattered wandering inside the dense grid. Structured pathways convert pressure. Accelerated one man where hardened streets amplify force through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiven network among rising structures, increasing command. Rising escalation pulses through rigid corridors as engines surge across hardened avenues while central authority prepares and fights directed. Gridded escalates command rigid sectors. Rising force as the size of motion through hardened avenues. Stacked towers confirm authority where discipline movement increases control and ruling presence. Intensified sectors extend the structure network where compressed corridors guide decisive engines. Accelerated movement sharpens every action across layered intersections. Scattered input converts into amplified momentum. Towers frame the execution of authority to cross control districts until hardened avenues recognize centralized power, maintaining the system of steel. Corridors compressed under escalating surge while disciplined engines gather force and central authority drives. Expansion, yes, escalate, command rigid avenues. Confirm the rise as the system movement secures hard and sector stack towers. Witness the grid districts remain. Work
Regulation signals surge across rigid districts where enforced corridors channel discipline engines till bridges route coordinated convoys through controlled intersections directive camber motion into compliance streams as stack towers dominate the vertical rise reinforced structure stabilize the city line while calculated movement replaces scatter wandering inside the dense grid structure pathways
convert pressure into obedient momentum. We're hardened streets and force alignment through constant demand until centralized authority stabilizes within the unforgiving network among rising structures driving adherence.
rising directives post to rigid corridors as engines move across hardened avenues while central command prepares stretching for